Today I'm unboxing an IP camera. So quite an interesting camera here. I'll quickly show you around the packaging. Nothing really much to show here, all very plain. Just a little sticker with some details on. So what's quite cool about this one, it's a 4 megapixel camera and it's a power over Ethernet camera. So I thought I'd give it a go. Let's unpack everything we have initially. Okay, the camera's just under this. It opens like this. Yep. There we go. Get the dome out. Okay, excellent. So, first of all, let's see what we have. Waterproof requirements. You know, tells you how to ensure watertight. So, instructions on that. Okay. Night vision on this is actually, they're saying 30 meters. So pretty impressive. Okay, a thank you card with a QR code on there to their website. Nice. Okay. A packing list, so you see, so you know if you're missing anything in the list. Quick guide. I guess. Oh, okay, cool. Indicators for where to screw the holes, must be for mounting, obviously. Got some fixtures here. Okay, sort of a hex key here, so we'll be able to open it up. We've got a seal here as well. And let's look at the actual camera itself. So another cool feature of this can take an SD card as well. Wow, bit of a weight to this, nice solid feel to it. Let me give you a very nice close-up of this first of all. So, number of cables here. Let's just show you these one by one. So first of all, the Ethernet connectivity. Audio in, blue ground. What is this? Audio out. Looks like alarm out, audio in. ALM, alarm I guess, input again. And then it looks like 12 volt power just there. It doesn't come with any sort of power adapter, so I guess you have to buy that separately. Quality of the cable seems very good. Okay, let's look at the actual camera itself. I do like it, it just has a nice solid feel to it and just seems very nice and compact, you know, ideal in that way. Okay, first things first, obviously if you're installing this, you've got two options. Obviously one is cable just like that and then you screw it straight down. I don't like the little kink you're getting in the cable here. Obviously it will be flush, should be slightly lower. Okay, the other way would be obviously straight up and a big hole to take it through. Now if it's mounted like this, obviously you're going to have to use the seal. So when you plug in your Ethernet on this side, the seal just helps keep it watertight. So just to keep that in mind. Now with all these cables here obviously, and if this is going to be hanging outside, not sure what you do about all these hanging out like this, you know, what do you do, tape them up maybe? But let me have a flick through the instructions and then I could sort of go over what the situation is with that. So okay, so waterproof requirements. If the product is installed outdoors, make sure the waterproof gasket is properly installed and screws are fastened. Okay, fair enough really. Do not remove the protection film until installation is complete. Okay, you've got serial numbers there, MAC addresses for the camera, and that's it. Nothing more on there. if I look closely, I can see the circuit board just in the background. So yeah, I do like the feel of this. Very nice solid feel to this. So it should be interesting to use this. Quality should be good, being 4 megapixel. So we should see considerable enhancement in picture quality. The other thing is, if you want to use it standalone, it should be able to take an SD card. So like I said, let me have a quick flick through the instructions and then we can give it a go. Okay, so here we have the IP camera. What I've done, I didn't really feel too comfortable with these bare wires, so I've just put some electrical tape over each one, you know, just to cover them up. So I guess if you do install it and you're using the actual power, so you could have these all sort of taped up out of the way and just have these available. Okay, so let's open it up and see where you actually put in the mini SD card. Let's cover off. Let me give a bit of a close-up of it. It's obviously metal case there. It's got a bit of material. It looks like a rubber. Let's feel. Hang on. Okay, feels a bit plasticky, so that's good. So if you've, I guess, fitting it up in the air, at least you can just leave it hanging like so as you're working on it. So that's quite good. Doesn't just fall off. You can obviously disconnect it from there. Now the camera itself, let's see, can you adjust it? I can't really see any adjusting mechanisms on there. Let's see what happens with this. Okay, that comes off. Ah, okay, I gotcha. So there's some screws here, so you can loosen it and then obviously put it into the position you want it, and then put this over it again. That's good, yeah. I'll just put it back to how it was. I'm not too fussed at the moment until I actually install it properly. Okay, that's that. Next thing is, let me take it off one more time. Quite a good tight fit once you put it on. Let me fiddle, there you go, yeah, it's off. Okay, you can actually see the components on there as well. That's fine, no issue. And there's your actual slot for the card. So I'll get in close on that, just give you an idea. So now I've got a little mini SD card here. If I just take that, it should just sort of just slot in like so, and then we can just put it all back together again like so, and then just tighten up. Oh, but before I do that, before I forget, put that back on. Secure now, that's tight. So let's put this outside and test out the daytime vision and the nighttime vision and see what the quality is like. Okay, so I have the IP camera plugged in via an Ethernet cable just there, and I found a 12-volt power adapter to plug it into to provide power to it, just to initially demonstrate it coming on and configuring it. So let me just position the camera correctly, and let's go to the Omni CCTV website, and from here you just go product, OmniView 4 megapixel IP camera, go to the dome camera, and if we scroll down, download the third item here, just that one, and just install this exe. So once you've installed this, you'll have an icon called guard tool. So if I double click that, click yes, give it a second, and there you go. So this is quite interesting. It's an app that displays all your cameras on your network, if you have any other ones other than this. So here you can see a different array of products I've got on the network at the moment. So this is my CCTV system, and this is a standalone camera I've got, and this is the actual IP camera, the dome one we're currently looking into. So if I do login, has the password already filled in, click OK, and there you go. If I just prove that that is that, you can see the movement of the camera. So yeah, that's that. So from here, initially I'll just show you, you can enhance the current image, you can rotate it if you need it in a different direction, exposure details, shutter, gain, slow shutter, slower shutter. If you just go through that, that's what you've got. Start smart illumination and white balance. Scroll down just to show that. Okay, we're not going to amend any of this. Network, so this is quite an interesting one. You've got static IP address as expected, and power over Ethernet, and then DHCP. So quite interesting actually seeing that. Didn't expect to see this particular option, so that's good to see. So hopefully that should plug straight into a CCTV system which provides power over Ethernet and work. We'll just try it standalone, so it's working off DHCP. Let's go to the next. Oh, let me go back, just show you. So port type, auto negotiation, ports, you can amend those, I guess. Encoding, system information, yeah, basic details. We'll leave it as this for now. So that's one way of configuring it and changing the settings on there, so that's good to know. Next thing, let's try connecting to the actual system itself. So if I do 70, that should try to connect, saying this download and install the latest plugin. I'll say yes to that. I want to have the plugin for this installed. I've not done this one yet, but it's done it. There you go. So I'll allow it. Okay, so the username is admin and the password by default is 123456. We won't worry about changing the password just yet. So let me go back just a moment. Oh, and just have these ticked so I don't have to mess around with them. 156. And there you go, there's the view. Picture quality is very good, as you can see, crystal clear. Being 4 megapixel, I'm not surprised, you know, this is what really attracted me to this camera. Okay, let's go through the actual options you have available for this. So you've got playback. So interesting thing about this system is that it actually takes a mini SD card, so you can actually have it mounted outside and just recording locally. Obviously, as it's on your network anyway, you can just pull the pictures off there. Photos, I guess you can take local photos on there. There's no card in there, that's why you're seeing total capacity 0. Setup, so basic sort of setup details you can go through. Let's go back to the beginning for a moment. So proportional, stretch, scale, and original. So that's actually the original size of the image. So that's good to know. Let's just run my hand straight over it just to give you a slight idea. There is a slight delay, which is normal, these sort of systems. Third stream, not sure what that is, and substream. but yeah, it's just showing picture there. So that's live view. Let's move on. Oh, you can see a zoom in option. Okay, so you can zoom in on the picture and zoom out. Let's disable that. Okay, what else do we have here? Snapshot, start local recording, and full screen. So that's good. Turn audio off. Turn audio off. Okay, that's that. Playback. So you can actually pick a date and it records locally and you can play it back. Photos, as we've already shown, and setup. Let's click through these setup options then. So obviously you've got the model number, serial numbers, network details, uptime. Obviously confirming there's no card in there. Nice camera probably to have at the front of your property, you know. Obviously you've got two things you could do. You could get it recording on a separate CCTV system, or you could just get it recording locally. A nice protected dome, so it should be okay to connect and see the data as well. Okay, so local settings, untriggered target, video fluency priority. Just quickly show these items. Okay, Ethernet, time, server, OSD, okay, user, and then network. Again, from here you can configure it as well. You don't need to use that app. So there's two methods of sort of configuring this, but I do like the other app helps discover it. So a dynamic DNS, so you could have it with DNS name. Okay, email as well. You can send emails, video, audio. Quite comprehensive. I didn't realize it would have this many options in there. It's quite clever, really. Events, common alarm, motion detection. So that's good. Motion detection in there as well. So you can get it obviously grabbing snaps, and the trigger could even email you, start recording, or upload to an FTP. Very good, very useful. Storage, memory card, can't drop that one. That's the only option there. FTP, so if you had an FTP somewhere, FTP server, you could just copy it straight onto there. Security. There you go. Time and that. Okay, that's good. So that's shown the options you have available on there. Next, let me actually show the inside of the camera to show where you installed the mini SD card, and then I could do a recording of to show the quality of it. Okay, so I've placed the camera outside in the evening in the garden area, and nighttime vision is very impressive. So we've got a good 60 feet here in the garden, just up to that hedge there, and clarity is very impressive. You know, you could see the whole area, which is really cool. And if you just look over here as well, the clarity is good. Now, an interesting setting, and I thought 4 megapixel was set by default on this camera, but it's not. If I go to setup and capture mode, you see all the different settings there. Let's go over to 4 megapixel and okay that, then save. So you would have thought if it's 4 megapixel, just keep it at that when it comes, but I guess not. Let's now click over And there you go, that's quite interesting. Now the picture's considerably darker, but the actual sharpness seems very impressive. You know, the clarity is extremely clear, you know, even the leaves on the tree, etc., and even the paving there, the wall, is just very clear. But the view's reduced quite considerably. It looks much darker, so you could say it's gone to maybe 50 feet or so, yeah, just around that area. So a good thing to be aware of. Now, another thing I wanted to show. Oh, okay, it's brightened up now. Back to normal. So, okay, maybe because I changed the settings, it was just adjusting itself. But yeah, back to how it was before. Very impressed. There you go, all the way to the back. Clearer. Much clearer. Okay, now, one thing I wanted to show. So let me shift the camera over. So this is quite interesting. Now that is a screen showing my CCTV system. Now this system supports Onvif. So that's actually Open Network Video Interface. Now this system I've got here, let me go to Quickset, and what I've done, obviously my CCTV system is on my home network, and this IP camera is connected to my home network. Now the CCTV system is seeing it, so you see it just there. The IP address is 70. Now being Onvif, it's picking it up, and I'm able to actually select it and put it as one of the channels here. So very impressed with this. So if you, for example, bought a smaller system, maybe with 2 cameras, and you wanted to expand it, this is quite a cool way of doing it. Now what's useful with this is that you could use power plugs, perhaps. Power plugs in different locations. So say for instance, if we go back and I've got the shed here, I could have a power plug within the shed pointing outwards, obviously the camera pointing outwards, power plug providing the Ethernet connectivity, and I could get it pointing back to the house. So that's quite good, and because the power plug provides a network capability, it's still recording onto my CCTV system. So really cool. I've had a test and I can see footage being recorded on there, so very useful. So you'd actually have 2 possible recording options, obviously with this system as well, and on the local system. So a good thing to keep in mind. Now let me close that off. Let me shift back. And nice, you can have it in full screen as well on there. Let's go back to setup. Other things are snapshots. You can take snapshots on here. Image quality, you can increase to whether it's low, medium or high. So let me go to this one. So intelligent advanced settings. So this seems quite interesting. It seems to have additional settings that will identify faces and things. So you could, if it identifies the face, you can get it taking snapshots and uploading an image, for example, or setting off an alarm. So the alarm could in fact send you an email if you configure that. Let's go back. Other thing is a perimeter thing. So if someone enters a certain perimeter, and you could probably set it like that, and you've got the sensitivity as well on there. So this sort of perimeter, you could get it going off and recording then. So alarm output, trigger an email, upload to FTP. So, and you can have a plan. So just between a certain time period, this alarm happens. So excellent little functions on here. So finally, let's do a test and see what the performance is like in the daytime. So it's daytime now and the camera's set up outside and showing the actual footage. So as you can see, the quality is very good. Now let me go back a little bit, and there's different options, obviously: stretch, scale and original. So that's the actual original size without it being adjusted. So let me show you the actual digital zoom. It's an interesting one to see. So you can select region like so and it will zoom in. Because it's digital and there's no real sort of zoom function, the quality isn't all that, you know, it's reasonable. So if I go even further and just actually, let me pick a smaller area, then it will really give it away. There you go. It's not a proper zoom really. Obviously it just tries to enhance the picture in that area. But you wouldn't be buying this camera for that sort of purpose anyway. But there you go. Footage quality is very clear, as you can see. And it is live, so you can see the leaves on the tree moving at this moment in time. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing, you've seen the footage of the camera. Final verdict really. I do like the system. It is very nice. The picture quality is very impressive, being 4 megapixel. You've seen the night vision on it as well. It's impressive how far it goes. You know, not really seen many systems giving that much clarity at that distance. One of the irritations, very small really, no biggie, but these cables, I don't like them. I don't like these sort of things hanging around, you know. They should have put them all together into a single cable with a connector. If you want to use it, then you plug it in. So obviously it gives additional functionality to plug into other items, but not everyone needs those sort of things. Another thing I wasn't too happy about was the fact that obviously it can take DC power in, but they don't give a power adapter. So luckily I did have one, so that's helped. Ethernet wise, so power over Ethernet, unfortunately with my system, the one I've got, the Anki one, I couldn't get it going, the power over Ethernet side of things. But luckily I was saved because the Onvif side of things. So at least I do get connectivity there and I can make use of it. So yeah, disappointed. I don't know if it's actually the system that has the problem or it's my CCTV system. But yeah, it's a shame I couldn't get that going. I did fiddle around with some of the settings. So when you looked at the network settings, you see DHCP, static IP and power over Ethernet. So I did select power over Ethernet and try plugging it, but no joy. No, just nothing going to it. Okay, so there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this system. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.